Hello and welcome to GameRomp Easy Mode. It's an easygoing podcast where we're going to talk about some video games.
Yay.
I'm David and...
I'm Deanna.
And we've been playing... Well, I've been playing a new game and you played through a new game, right?
Yes, a very quick game, but it is very cute. Do you want to go over yours, or...? Because I know you usually talk a lot more than I do.
I could start if you want.
Okay.
I don't know how long yours is going to be, but sure. So, June 26th, Persona 5X came out. Persona 5X is a free-to-play Persona game that's basically like, imagine Persona 5, except a side story, I guess. It's different characters, but in the same world, and the same kind of idea. And simultaneously also becoming Phantom Thieves.
But, like, technically it could be the same characters if you got super lucky with the gacha rolls, or does it literally start you with different characters?
You're playing as a different character. Actually, at the very, very, very beginning of the game, you are playing as Joker, but then they, like, do some trickery, and you're not Joker, then you're this other character. And then they're, like, at the end, they're, like, kind of, like, fighting, but it was all a dream. You wake up and you're the new character. So I don't know how much of that is, like, story stuff and how much of it is just, like, fan service. Like, oh, it's the old characters.
That's giving me vibes of, like, what is it, Metal Gear Solid 5, where, like, oh, you're playing as Snake, and then it turns out, like, you're someone else or something?
That happens in Metal Gear Solid 2, yeah.
Oh.
That's a whole other situation, because Kojima purposefully, like, trolled everyone. Because he put out a demo for Metal Gear Solid 2 where you play as Snake, and you go through this whole section of the game where you're, like, on this tanker, like, oil tanker, right? And it's... Yeah. I'd say, like, the first quarter, maybe the first fifth of the game you play as Snake, and then, like, the main game begins and you're playing as somebody else. And that was such, like, a well-guarded secret. And not only was it a well-guarded secret, he even released screenshots of Snake in the other section of the game. So he was, like, purposely, like, some people could consider it, like, lying or misleading, but I don't know, it's just Kojima trolling. And it's kind of part of the story in a way, because that game's about, like, misdirection and misinformation and stuff like that. But anyway... For this game, Persona 5X, I mean, it's a free-to-play gacha game, so a lot of it is going to be fan service.
Yeah, it's just a thing they do.
But the story is actually... I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it at first. You saw me play a little bit, and I ranted to you privately about, like, how the story is comparing to the Persona 5, right? Now, I'm going to not spoil Persona 5 or this game, but... For people that played the first for people that played Persona 5, I want you to imagine the first dungeon and the first, like, villain you go after. I've already told you who he was and what he did. And it was some pretty serious stuff that dealt with, like, sexual assault and suicides and stuff like that. And, like, when I first started playing Persona 5X, the villain that we went after the first time didn't seem as bad. And I would still say that he kinda isn't as bad as that other dude. I think his name was Kamoshida. I don't remember this guy's name. Sorry, it's hard to keep track of all the Japanese names.
It's like some baseball guy, right?
Yeah. Basically, without getting into the more heavy spoiler stuff, his whole thing was, like, he kind of spiraled out of control when he basically did some, like, Little League stuff. And this, like, 10-year-old girl, who's one of the party members that you get to play as, ended up hitting the ball and, like, hitting a home run. And, like, he felt humiliated because he was, like, the star pitcher or whatever.
Fragile masculinity.
And that's kind of what you go into it thinking and knowing. And, like, that led to some other stuff where he was... I showed you another screenshot where, for lack of a better word, was kind of, like, incel-y talking.
Yeah, that was kind of cringe.
And yeah, he's basically, like, a misogynist too, and, like, he spiraled into, like, doing bad stuff with women, and, like, the team found out. And
now it's interesting because in the beginning, when you were telling me how the story was going at that time, that, like, his crimes were, like, not even crimes. Like, the things he was doing were not really
he was
bad.
Like a menace.
Yeah.
Somebody,
like,
that wasn't... yeah, it's like when you're in the city, you see some people that are menaces that aren't necessarily like, is this a crime? Like, if you get the cops involved, are they even going to do anything? He was purposely doing stuff like that by, like, shoving into women and, like, knocking them over. But, like...
I guess it turned out to be way worse than what it was originally seeming to be.
At one point, he does that to somebody and they end up in the train tracks, but it isn't too bad. Mm-hmm. However, I will say, again, I'm not going to spoil it in case anyone wants to play Persona 5X. There is a bit more to it, and he did do some other more bad stuff, but he's still kind of like in that. I guess there's a discussion to be had on like how redeemable and forgivable certain crimes are.
Yeah.
And like, how bad is shoving? How bad is like groping or further sexual assault or murder, or like, there's a ladder here, like a stepping whatever, where it gets to like, okay, wait a minute.
So in the beginning of the story, he was just like slowly spiraling, and he was like almost going through the process of figuring out what he was more, I don't know, comfortable doing against people. Like he was accelerating.
I'm trying not to spoil too much, but let's just say he did do something that was kind of bad. Pretty bad, I guess. But still in the realm of like, pull yourself together, confess, and move on with your life kind of thing. So like, towards the end, like, for those that don't know, Persona 5's whole gimmick is basically like, you're playing as the Phantom Thieves, and you're like going after these adults that do really bad shit, and like stealing their hearts so that they confess to their crimes and like stop doing what they're doing and seek, get justice, whether they get arrested or whatever.
You had mentioned that they go into the people's minds. Are they like psychonauts? Except like more adult oriented? I
guess you could kind of look at it like that. It's not like they're not jumping into their minds. The world of Persona 5 has like the metaverse. Is that what they call it? I forget if that's exactly what they call it. But,
God, I hope it's not that. Just because our metaverse apparently sucked ass.
But it's like think of it as like a societal subconscious. Like there's a term for that.
The collective consciousness?
Yeah. The collective unconsciousness, I guess. Where, like, everyone kind of has, like, a connection to certain things, and, like, what can affect certain people can, like, slowly start affecting others around them, right?
Interconnectedness.
Yeah. And that is a big part of the story, especially in this one. In this one, a lot of it is, like, people are kind of losing their will to live, and, like...
Oh, I know that feeling.
Yeah, like, shit is so bad that everyone's just like, oh, God, things are hopeless, and like some people are just going through their lives in like a daze and just getting through, and some people are super hopeless, and some people even go further and
do the big bad.
Yeah, do the the game starts with somebody
attempting it,
jumping off a building basically, and the whole like that kind of thing, and like something is wrong with our society or the world, and like the mascot character in this game is a little owl.
Yeah.
His name is Lufel. He's a lot better than Morgana, in my opinion. But maybe that
almost sounds harsh, but I don't really know anything about Morgana, and I just remember Teddy. So.
The cat, yeah. Well, Teddy was in 4, but yeah. Maybe Morgana just had kind of a... They kind of did a Preston Garvey thing on her, where part of the problem is that they tied
she's always like, there's a quest for you?
She's always like, you can't do that, it's time to go to sleep.
Oh,
she was kind of like a babysitter.
Oof.
And it's like, come on, man.
It wasn't her fault, she was written that way.
Yeah, kind of. Lufel doesn't have that, because the day and calendar system in this is a lot more...
open-ended?
Yeah. It's kind of weird in a way, because like in Persona 5 and in Persona 4... and in Persona 3, there's kind of a strict calendar system where, like, things are happening, time is going on, and you only have so much time to do everything. So you can't hang out with everybody and date everyone and be a perfect little angel that has all your, like, social stats maxed out. Because, like, in these games, too, you can go to, like, you can work on your intelligence and study, or you can, like, work on your charm or work on your physical, whatever. There's basically social stats, too, right? In this one... because I guess it's a live service free-to-play game, they can't have an ending, which is something I worry about, honestly.
Yeah.
So instead of like in Persona 5, when you have like a strict calendar system, like things happen in September, things happen in October, etc. Now it's just kind of open-ended, and when you go to bed, it's just like yesterday, today, tomorrow, and it's just like those 3 things. And like certain things will happen on certain days in the sense that like...
Do they even number the days?
No.
Oh my God.
No.
I wonder, like, I get the I understand the idea that, okay, it has to be an open-ended game, but I feel like they could still have put a calendar and just make it so that maybe it doesn't show the year, fine, but you still go through a year, you still go through a month or a week or days or what have you.
I don't know.
But then, like, it's probably just easier to not have any specific scripted things to happen.
Especially because people are going to be coming in and out, and, like, because it's a live service game. Like, even for me, I'm enjoying it, but I might pause at a certain point because, like, I want to wait until the character I want is actually gettable in the gacha.
Guess, but
that's a
even
whole
if it's
other issue.
like a live service game, does everyone have to be... I mean, is there like PvP stuff, or do you match up with other people? Like, I get that it's live services, or they update at
I think the
so
problem
often,
is
but, like, no one has to be on the same day, right?
I think they just don't want to have the whole thing where the dates feel weird and unrealistic. Like, this player has been playing straight this whole time, and he's on like year 3, and everyone's still in high school, whereas this player's came back later. It's like
Well, that's why I said you
to
don't
not
need
do
to have
that.
a year. You just have days and months. But hey, whatever.
I mean, still, like,
What the fuck do I know about a live service game?
yeah, you can't have like, oh, this is my 4th February in 9th grade. Anyway, so yeah, Persona 5 and the other Personas have that. This one doesn't. So it's a lot more open-ended on like what happens during the days, and you just kind of skip around, and it's whatever. That's their way of like having it be open-ended enough that they can keep adding new stories, which fine, I guess. But there is the main story that I'm going through, and some side quest stuff too. Like, side quests, it almost feels weird to call them side quests, maybe like side stories. Like, for example, one of them that I just did was really cute, and I liked it, that we were helping this neighbor girl, and she's like, I guess, I don't know if she's working at a daycare or babysitting a bunch of kids, and she's like, she wants to be a nurse, but she also wants to help her dad at her store, and her dad at her store is like, I want you to do what you want to do. You don't have to worry about me, because I guess he's a widow. Her mom died. So she's like, oh, I got to help dad with the store. And he's like, you don't have to. I want you to do what you want to do. And like that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And it was really sweet. I really liked it. But I guess you could say that's like a side mission. Like, it's just this NPC you find, you could talk and read these, find or go through her story. There was another dude too, like this muscly dude that works at the gym, and I'm like, oh god, this big old meathead. But his story was kind of nice too.
You were going through a stereotype.
And he like almost got scammed by some lady, and like this whole thing. And like the side stories are fun. The main story has been fun too. I've finished the first palace, is what they call them, not dungeons. But yeah, basically, like, for the big bad people, the main story people, they get their own like palaces in, is it Mementos? Might be Mementos, not Metaverse. Yeah. And basically there's some consciousness so fucked up that they're like hurting other people around them. Like this guy like slamming into women and causing people like to be scared of going to the subway, right? The one in Persona 5 was more kind of mature because he was doing some fucked up stuff at the high school.
Yeah.
But this guy's also like causing chaos and being a menace, and like, so he also has connection to one of the main characters who's called Motoha. And on my Blue Sky, I kind of like jokingly called her we got Chie at home.
Oh yeah, I saw that joke.
And like, yeah, she's got the same basic hairstyle as Chie. She's kind of like a tomboy. She played baseball, and she likes, she's that kind of character. And it's fine. She's cute. I like her. She and one of the other classmates of hers they were like friends because they played baseball together, and like one day they got to be like, they get to meet him because he was like this big up and coming baseball guy. So she's like, oh, I really look up to him. And then like when she realized that his spiraling out of control was kind of because she hit his ball, and like,
did she blame herself
yes.
for that? Ugh, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's a thing most people go through, but...
Because, like, oh, this was, like, my hero, and now he stopped playing because of me, and all this thing. And it's like, so she was, like... And you're going through the story to find out it's not... That was, like, the public-facing reason, but, like, behind the scenes, they kind of cleaned up some bad shit that he was doing. But anyway, like, unlike the guy in Persona 5, you kind of feel like, okay, dude, get yourself together. This is stupid.
You can still redeem yourself.
Yeah. But there was something interesting that they did at the very end of it that only your main character kind of saw. And I'm not going to say what it is because...
Yeah, jeez.
I'll tell you privately after because I know you're not going to play. But...
Fair.
Suffice it to say, I kind of want to keep playing to figure out what is going on.
So the story actually is good.
I think the story is interesting, and the characters are good. I really like the little owl Lufel, and I like Motoha. She's cute, and like, yeah, so far it's basically another Persona game. The story and characters are good, so yeah, I'm kind of happy with like the story. Gameplay wise, it's also pretty good, I guess, if you can handle the free to play gacha stuff, which I know is kind of like
that can be tricky for some people.
Yeah.
Because, like, for us, we've already had a whole discussion in one of our past episodes. Like, we've both played those free-to-play games, and they have microtransactions, but both of us are lucky enough that we're able to handle not falling into that trap. But there are a lot of people that, for whatever their personal reasons are, can't seem to handle that without blowing through too much money. Like, I know, like, the extreme is obviously the whales, but even just people, like, playing a free-to-play game and then suddenly they're out, like, $50, $100 because they got so into it that they wanted, you know, those gotcha pulls and got sucked into the microtransactions.
Yeah, you really gotta, when you play games like this or Genshin, like, you gotta be able to know if you can handle that and just don't put money into the gacha. I'm not going to pay any money. I never paid any money to Genshin, and I played that for God knows how many hours. This is on Steam, so I'll be able to know how many hours I put into it, but I'm not going to give these people any money either, to be honest with you, because I just don't like this monetization system.
Yeah.
But another bad thing about this gameplay style, and you experienced it a little bit in Genshin, it does the same sort of thing. Like,
the leveling thing.
Yeah. Okay, so for those that don't know, who haven't played Genshin Impact or like any of those free-to-play games, Persona 5X is also doing this sort of thing. And one of the things I really don't like is how characters level and the progression system. Now, if you're playing Persona 5, you go through the game, you're fighting monsters, you level up as you get XP as you beat the monsters, and your characters are slowly leveling.
It's a normal game.
Your main character also gets different personas, and those kind of affect his stats, so he kind of works in a different way. Both in Persona 5 and Persona 5X, your main character has multiple personas, and they affect your stats, whereas everyone else, they aren't the special characters, they just have their one persona. But, like, that's always been a thing with Persona games, like, your main character is special in that they get to control multiple personas, and even meet, I forget his name, is it Igor? The big long nose guy?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you're special. You got this power to do multiple personas, blah, blah, blah. And it's the whole thing. Now, I don't know if Igor is the same as he is in Persona 5, because there's... The Igor in Persona 5 is actually pretty story important, and there's kind of like a twist with him. And I don't know if he's the same one in this, or if he's the... I won't even say that. Anyway,
do they play Igor as, like, having multiple siblings, or is it the same but like different reincarnations?
Even saying this much is already kind of a spoiler for Persona 5.
Okay, we'll leave it.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, in Persona 5X, it's different. You're not playing through the game and like your character's leveling up normally. There is a minuscule amount of XP you get, but it's kind of weird because your main character has his own XP system, and everyone else in your parties, the other characters, the gacha characters, and the people that they get for free, they have a different XP system.
Are they... Okay, the gacha characters, everyone but the main character, are they playing off the spell book and you have to level them with the items?
Yes.
Okay.
Whereas the main character is kind of like account experience. Remember in Genshin when you would get like your account XP, like, oh, your account is now level 10 and this unlocks.
Oh, yeah, vaguely. It's
kind of like that. So he has his own XP that way. But it's not like Genshin where like the main character also could be leveled up with books. Because in this game, his stats are basically dictated by the persona he's using. And they have their own XP, which is a whole other thing. Oh boy. So imagine the party characters you have, they level up with the books. Your personas level up with a different currency.
Ugh.
The personas that your characters have, they can have skill ups with a different currency. So that's 3, right?
Jesus Christ.
Now, when you find weapons are also kind of gacha gated. You can find like purple rarity in the dungeons, But then there's like the gold rarity, which are kind of like 4 stars, which are better. And then there's like the 5-star, which you can only get like the super limited banner shit, and they're like even better. But when you're going through like the dungeon, when you're opening up treasure chests, you're just getting currency to level shit up. You're not getting anything interesting like, ooh, this is an item that might be useful in a boss fight, or ooh, this is a new weapon that might be really good. So that's kind of another negative in these games that really just, I wish wasn't a thing.
That almost makes it that when you open up those treasure chests and it's just currency every single time, that every time they're like saying like, oh, finders keepers and all this other stuff, it's even more egregious.
Yeah, because it's like, it's not exciting.
It's the same shit every time.
It's just you're finding, like, imagine dust. Oh, you found dust to increase the XP bar of a character, and the XP bar of the weapon, and the XP bar for persona, and like 5% of the currency for a single pull. So like opening treasure chests is not like super exciting. It's just like, I'm adding to my mountain of currency, which is just, yeah. I mean, this is how these games work. This is how Genshin Impact worked too.
Yeah.
In the beginning of Genshin Impact, it was kind of neat because you were like scraping, you had nothing. So like finding a weapon or equipment in the treasure chest was like, oh, okay, cool. But eventually it gets to the point where like all this shit is just dust.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is the one thing that I don't like. Another negative of this kind of system is that like leveling kind of has no meaning, because you get to level gates. Just like in Genshin, like once you get to like level 20, you hit a hard cap and it's like you can't level up anymore until you use these other items to ascend to the next level gate. So it's like, okay, you got to use these they look like little perfume bottles. And that makes it so that you can go from level 20 up to maximum level 30.
Oh, I think you posted this on Blue Sky, that you were complaining that, like, you stop at 20 and then when you finally unlock, oh, you can get to level 30, then you've saved up so many things that you just instantly...
get to level 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, it's not like they leveled up from, like, level 20 to level 30. It's, I threw 4 of these bottles at them, now they can hit level 30. I'm sitting on like 1 million of these XP books. I give it to the character, now they're level 30. So it's not like, as soon as you unlock it, they just basically, unless you don't have the items for it, they basically just go to max level anyway. So it's like they're leveling up from level 20 to level 30. And not from fighting, just because you have the items. And those items are time gated with the energy system. So I know a lot of old free-to-play games, they would have the energy system. You can't play the stage unless you have 20 energy, right?
Oh, yeah.
In these modern gacha games, you can keep playing the story, sort of. Like in Genshin Impact, you can keep exploring the world, but you do have that energy system that you can, like, if you want to go into the dungeon to get ascension materials or XP books or weapon refinement materials, or that's what's time gated. So, like, it's kind of shitty in the way that, like, yeah, go ahead, you can keep playing, but, like, in order to level up your character, you got to come back tomorrow or buy energy. So that's the kind of thing in these free-to-play games that is just awful. Like, I finally got my main character to level 30-something yesterday, and that unlocks my other character's level cap. So now they can break level 30 to level 40. And I've just been using the items I've been saving up, and like, okay, some of my characters can now level to 40, throw a bunch of books at them, they're level 40. It's not like I'm playing the game and they're slowly leveling up. Oh, Motoha leveled up to 31. Oh, Motoha leveled up to 32. No, it's like, okay, level cap broken, now you're level 40. It's just uninteresting. It's not fun that way, but that's just how these games are made for some reason. I don't know why. Well, I guess the reason is because like they can level gate or time gate these things with the currency. Like, oh, you need to have 20 energy to go to the dungeon to get the things or whatever. So
I guess, but in a weird way, it's almost like they're just taking regular game levels, like from level 1 to level 2. Mm-hmm. But instead of just doing it 1 to make it feel more special, I guess they just multiply it by 10.
Yeah, it's just a stat thing. It's not like when you play WoW and you level up, you get that big and like the big celebration or whatever. In games like this, there is none of that. It's just like, hey, congrats, you've reached the new level gate, so throw this pile of items at the character and they're now like at the max level again. So it's like, okay.
It's not exciting. It's a weird thing thinking that like these games supposedly over time have been doing like, oh, the small dopamine hits or whatever. But then at the same time, they've taken away certain dopamine hits where, like, yeah, in WoW, hitting the next level and getting the ding. Like, you literally would say ding to your guild or chat or whatever. And you wanted, like, congratulations and stuff. They took that dopamine hit away, it seems.
In a way, for that aspect, yeah. Because leveling up your... I mean, it's still good when you're like, okay, I got this new weapon, I gave it to the character I like, and, like, do I have enough stuff to get it to max level? Yeah, great. But the numbers are kind of so big too that it's not very noticeable when, like, my attack went from 1,200 to 1,500. Like, okay. I mean, I guess it's kind of noticeable in some senses, but it's not as enjoyable as when you're playing a Persona game normally and, like, everyone levels up. It's like, oh, wow, I got 2 levels up from this battle. That's fun. In this game, it's just like, well, my level cap is broken. I got them to max. Oh, I don't have enough to get this character to max, so I have to go to the dungeon specifically to unlock him or whatever. Because, like, yeah, now that I've reached this new level cap, I'm slowly, like, using my energy during the day to, like, okay, gotta go there to get the little purple perfume bottles to unlock the level cap, and I have one more character to unlock, and then everyone will be to max level again. Then I gotta do the same for their weapon. Their weapon is level 30. I gotta use the, like, purple crystals to get the thing to break to the next level, to level 40, and then, like, again, once the level cap is broken from using the purple gems, I gotta use, like, the purple machine parts to get their weapon level up. So there's, like, yeah, it's just, that's the free-to-play curse.
Yeah.
You got how many fucking currencies? Like,
you need a flowchart to figure out all this shit.
To level up, you got the books. To break the level caps, you got the perfume bottles. Weapons also have levels that they use the machine parts, but they have caps that you break with the crystals. Then the Persona skills, they can also be leveled up from, like, level 1, 2, 3, and 4, so that they do more damage when you use the skill. Those use all, like, a incense currency. And it's like, there's just so much of this shit, and it can be a nightmare later on, especially, like, in Genshin Impact. Once you have, like, a bunch of people at the absolute level cap of 90... when they release a new character, like, oh, look at this cool new character we're throwing in the gacha. You have to go through that whole process with each character. Gotta get them to level 40, then have enough materials to break that cap, then level them to level 50, have enough materials to break that cap, then level them to 60, etc. And it's just a nightmare.
Like, okay, I understand that you want to get through the story, and the story does sound good and fine, whatever, but, like, how many you've played Genshin, you're playing this one, have you played any others that play off the same, like, leveling thing? Like, how many times could you go through this shit?
I'm trying to think if I have played another game that has done this. I know there are others, like Wuthering Waves, and for a while there I was like, should I try that game? But I resisted the urge, and I'm sure there are others, but this is because, like, I really love Persona.
No, I mean, that's fair. It's
Persona 4 and 5 are so good. I haven't finished 3, so I should try that. I'll probably play that at some point. But that's the thing, like, playing the Persona 5, for example, like, you can just play that game without worrying about this shit. Your characters level up normally. Your weapons don't have levels. You just find weapons as you're exploring the dungeons, and, like, you get upgrades as you go, kind of like in any other RPG. But because weapons are also gacha elements, like, you kind of don't do that. You, like, oh, hope to get the good rarity weapon and then just level that up and use the materials. And it's like, yeah, honestly, that kind of thing I don't like. But I put up with it because I do like the characters, the story, the world. And this is so... I'm not really sure if this takes place in the same Persona 5 world, honestly. Like,
it's an alternative universe,
I don't know.
Maybe?
There's hints that it might be alternative. It's really hard to say. I'm not far enough in the story to say, and that's one of the things that has me intrigued. Like, some of the things that they're showing me, like, wait a minute, what's going on? So yeah, that's interesting to me, and I want to figure it out.
But I'm just curious of, like, I don't know. I mean, I guess you wouldn't really be able to know the answer to this question anyways until it actually happened. But, like, if what's another... Say, for shits and giggles, Pokemon did this or something, and you wanted to do this.
Pokemon does do this with Pokemon Masters.
Well, I mean, I guess. But, like, I don't know. It's just weird. And it almost made me think, like, you know how, quote-unquote, back in the day, was it Konami that got in trouble where they stopped doing any new games any new normal games for a lot of their properties and did like pachinko instead, except instead of doing pachinko, all these companies are like, we're not going to make normal games anymore. We're going to make all this gacha shit.
Well, luckily Atlas is making Persona 6. And I don't know, Persona 5 is just, I guess Persona 5 is just like the big thing that went crazy for them, because they've made a bunch of Persona 5 spin-offs too. They had like...
Oh yeah, the dancing game?
I think 4 had a dancing game too, but Persona 5 also had like the Strikers game, which was just like a Muso game. And then there was also...
And Muso game is like the big...
Dynasty Warriors, yeah.
Yeah, one character's fighting like a billion enemies.
I didn't play that. I can't stand those kinds of games. They also made like a kind of chibi strategy RPG of like Final Fantasy Tactics style, which maybe I'll play someday. They also did Persona 5, I think they called it Golden, which is like, they added some new elements to the game, almost like a DLC, but it's like a full game you have to buy, so it's like, man, I don't want to do that.
So they literally just took this IP and like, we're going to try every game genre.
Yeah, I guess it's very successful for them. And I get it, because like, Persona 5 was so good. Persona 4 also so good, but like, again, I'm not going to go into like which one's better or not, but like, I can say when I finished Persona 5, it was almost that sad feeling of like, man, I'm going to miss this world and I'm going to miss these characters.
Interesting.
Like, they had the big final send-off where like, okay, everything's good now, let's go on a little trip, a road trip, and you see them get in the car and they're driving off, and it's like, man, I wish I had more of these characters, because they were that good. And
they're like, well, we will give you more, and there's going to be all these crazy games.
Yeah, and I can say the same thing happened with Persona 4. At the end of Persona 4, when everything's all wrapped up, and the main character's like, okay, I gotta go back to my hometown now, and like, he gets on the train, and you see everybody waving him off, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna miss this world and these characters. So yeah, Persona has that special, like, I don't know what it is about it, like, just the way it combines like the dungeon, but like also the daily life stuff. And this one does it too, where like, you have the daily life stuff where you can go hang out with your characters and like do that kind of stuff, and like, it's kind of fun, because like, granted, I haven't met everyone yet since I'm still like going through the game, but like, even the characters I have met already, it is giving that feeling of Persona 5. And even more so because it's literally using kind of like a lot of the Persona 5 assets.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't really need to change much that way.
Yeah, especially because it's in the same city. Like, Persona 4 was in like a different, more rural town. Persona 5 is like right there in Tokyo. You spend a lot of time in Shibuya, for example, and like going on the subways and stuff. It's like the same world, which also makes it weird to like, these characters are calling themselves the Phantom Thieves, but the other Phantom Thieves were in Shibuya and stuff too. Like, do they know about each other? What is going on here? And I'll have to figure out what happens. But yeah, there's a lot of story stuff and character stuff that I'm like, okay, I will deal with the free-to-play gacha shit, because I like everything else. So I'm swallowing this free-to-play medicine to play this game. And
more like free-to-play poison.
At least I'm not paying money, so there's that. Because like, I could just buy Persona 3 Remastered, because I haven't played through that, but this is free. So, I don't know. It's tough. It's like, choose your poison.
Yep.
Whatever the case, Persona's great. And so far, this has been good if you can handle the free-to-play stuff. And I guess that
seems like a pretty good chunk of...
I could keep saying more and more about this game, but yeah, I'm going to leave it there for now. The story has piqued my interest, and I'm going to keep playing for now.
Well, that sounds mostly good, I guess. Well, I guess we'll go into a more normal game. So this weekend, I played
Turnip. As in like a game that you buy and you can finish.
Yeah, it's not a gacha microtransaction game.
I will say that is one thing I worry about, because I like I said, like at the end of Persona 5 and 4, I get that feeling like, oh man, I'm going to miss these characters and want more. I don't know how they're going to do that with this, because it feels like it's one of those games that they're just going to try to keep going on forever and ever and ever. So
I mean, you probably won't get that feeling.
Yeah, it's going to be weird. Anyway.
I mean, you probably wouldn't get those feelings in the Muso game either or something.
No, that would be more like, oh, it's cool to see these characters again and like more stories. Like even in this, there's an event going on right now, and I don't know how canon it is, but like, oh, you meet the characters from Persona 5 and go through the first dungeon, and it's like, it's just fun to see them again and like see Morgana interact with Lufel, the two little mascot characters.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff. That's fun. But anyway, sorry. Let's go back to your thing.
Okay, so this weekend I played a normal game. It was called Turnip Boy Does Tax Evasion.
Is this the first game in the Turnip Boy series?
I think so, because I forget if I have it or if I just saw it in the store, but the second game is like Turnip Boy Robs a Bank or something. I don't know if this was their first game that they made, but it definitely feels like, I don't know if you'd call it necessarily a prototype, but it's really short, like it's probably under 3 hours, I think. And I've finished almost everything. There's like technically, because I don't know if there's like a percentage I could see in the menu anywhere, but at least going by achievements, I have like 3 left, but I got like, I think that means I have like 34 or something. It's whatever. So you're playing as, in this world, it's basically just all these vegetables and fruits are living creatures. And you're playing as Turnip Boy. And Turnip Boy is derp, I guess you could say. He doesn't talk. He responds to the NPCs that talk to him in either like ellipses or question marks or exclamation marks. So that's how he talks. He has some emotions, but he doesn't actually say words, except for one time in the game. Turnip Boy literally only says one word the entire game, and I don't know if I should necessarily tell the joke of when he says it. I mean, I guess it's not like a super story-breaking thing or like spoiler.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't assume that this game had like a deep story, so if it's just a joke, you can say it.
I guess.
Unless you feel like it adds to the moment when you like...
It is kind of silly. I don't know. Okay, there's one character. Most of the characters are goofy as shit, and it's not like super serious or anything. It's all fun and games. There's this one character that you go... And this game is basically like a bunch of fetch quests. One character asks you to go find, I think... She has like 3 kittens and 1 kitten has gone off, so you have to find the other kitten. But her character is like, she's really into anime, and she talks with all like the funny faces and says the ooh stuff. And you return our cat, and she's like, ooh, look at my anime drawing, all that like giddy talk and whatever, and Turnip Boy just says stop. That's the only word, the entire game, all he says is just stop. After she does the ooh shit.
Weird. And this isn't voice acted, I'm assuming?
No, nothing is voice acted.
Almost feels like it could have been an oversight.
No, I think that was the joke, that like Turnip Boy is just this easygoing derpy thing, but when it gets to ooh girl, he's like, stop. Anyways, I thought that was funny. So the story is Turnip Boy has this apartment, but Mayor Onion is fucking over everyone. And Turnip Boy rips up his tax bill, I guess. And you get an achievement for ripping up a tax bill. So Mayor Onion's like, well, you have to pay me back for all the taxes on your apartment or something. You're going to run all these quests for me. So you go through and you have to go through the forest and you find a sword. And I think you bring it back to him. Then it's just, okay, I got to remember.
Is this like a Zelda game?
Only in the sense that it's like top down and you do have like different tools you can use. I guess sorta kinda you could call it a Zelda-ish game, but it's not as like deep as a Zelda game, which probably isn't saying much because usually Zeldas aren't like super deep.
Okay, so help me imagine what the gameplay is like. Are you like shooting stuff or hitting stuff or just talking to people?
It's mostly talking. There are some enemies, like the first enemy you come across are snails, but they just move around. You don't even have to hit them. You don't get experience for killing enemies. There's no leveling up. There's no skills that you need to do. It's also like a puzzler because the first... Actually, I think before you get the sword, you get the watering can from Mr. Lemon. It's not even from Mr. Lemon. He's looking for his can. It's right next to him. You take it. You never return it to him. Whatever. Then you get the sword. Another... what was the other item? You get that? Oh, you get a shovel at some point, and you can dig up graves. Then you get... There's all these, like, different puzzle aspects. And you're just going through the world, you're solving the puzzles, and there's like an overarching story. Like you're doing the quest for Mayor Onion. You're finding items for people. One people like lost a cell phone. Another one lost the like kid they were trying to look after. So you find the little baby, you give him the baby, she gives you a stool. You use that stool to get to other things. It's all these different fetch quests that connect to each other.
Like a chain quest.
Yeah. And the overarching story is like you're trying to figure out why this certain forest area is like polluted. And you fight like the boss monsters, and you come to find out there's like poisoning going on. And then the other like part of the questing line is like Mr. Onion's doing all this like shady shit with like the IRS or whatever. And it's just like, again, it doesn't take it's a super silly game. And every time you find like an item to read that you can pick up, you just immediately destroy it. So you just like rip up everything you get, you come to, and you get an achievement for every piece of paper you rip up. Like you find someone's letter and then you rip it up. Someone gives you a letter to give to someone else, you show it to them and then you rip it up. You find a book, you rip it up. Like you find someone's family portrait in some like little dungeon area, you rip it up. Like Turnip Boy doesn't speak except for once, and he just rips everything he gets his hands on.
Okay.
And it's just, it's silly. Yeah. I don't know. It's a good game. It's a short game. I like short games now. I do want to play Turnip Boy Robs a Bank just to see what more shit he decides to rip up. And it's just, I don't know. It's an easy game. It's not complicated. There's no microtransactions. There's not like 1,000 different, currencies or what have you. It's just little fetch quests, a silly, dumb story. And the ending credit song, actually, okay, I will say for this, I got 2 endings, because you do one ending, and then you go back, and it's not like you have to go through half the game again to get the second ending. It's not like a full playthrough. It's just you go back, and you know what you have to do. You get one extra item or whatever, and then you go back and fight the main villain of the game. And then you get the second roll of credits, and the second roll of credits comes with a song. And I'm going to use that song at the end of this. Usually I don't like putting songs on the podcast that have lyrics, but this time I will make an exception for this one, because it's just, especially like the main chorus bit, I think everyone who's an adult can like relate to it. And it's super cute, it's sweet, and it's a good game.
That's good.
And I'm sorry I always bungle up explaining a game.
No, it's okay. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
It's cute, and like, I don't know, maybe I'll do like some art practice by drawing the characters or something.
This is an old game too, right? Because I think we've gotten it in a million different bundles.
Yeah, probably. I don't remember what year it came out, but it's like the last decade at least, I think.
A lot of people might already just own it. Yeah,
probably. So if you do own it and you just happen to not have played it yet, then you should definitely give it a shot.
Turnip Boy does tax evasion? Is that what it's called?
Or Turnip Boy commits tax evasion, something like that, yeah. Okay. So I'm excited to play the next one, and yeah, maybe I'll do that next week or something.
Okay, sure. I'm probably gonna... I feel bad because I just want to keep playing Persona, but whatever, I'll just talk about it more next time. Maybe some new observations and see if I get bored of it. I will probably stop playing at some point soon, because of the gacha shit, like, none of the characters on the timeline are like interesting to me. So I was like, well, I want to wait until the character I like from Persona 5 is obtainable, so I'll just come back when she's there. So... Well,
it'll be a game that you just do like, a little play here, and then play a normal game while you wait.
Gotta be able to resist the FOMO and like, I'm not logging in every day. Same for like any live service game.
Yeah, do they have like the daily quest shit too?
Kind of like in Genshin Impact. That same like battle pass thing.
Oh, God.
So it's like, do these things. I haven't really been paying attention to it. I'll go to it when the thing says you did it and like collect the things, but I don't really like look at it and do what it tells me to do. Because it's just a good boy points thing all over again. And
you can't tell me what to do. You're not my manager.
And that's kind of the thing. Like, you were talking about the achievements in Turnip Boy, and like, internally, not against you or anybody, internally, I'm just like rolling my eyes because I don't give a shit about achievements.
No, I know. And it's silly because it's like you're just going through the game ripping up documents, but you get an achievement for each one.
But like this game, Persona also has achievements, and like some of them are by doing like random things like, oh, you only did this thing once, or you've met this person and did their story, or whatever. There's like a bazillion fucking achievements, but like the achievements give you like gacha currency. So it's like, it's kind of dumb, but at the same time it's like, well, I'll look at it because at least I'm getting something out of it too.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
I will say there's a second gacha element in that there's literally gachapon in the world,
God.
and you can like just use your in-game money, like literally yen that you can earn by like doing part-time jobs to like go to the gachapon and like get the little trinkets and put them in your room if you want. It's not a big deal, but one of the sets is really cute, and I'm like, damn, if these were real, I'd want these. Maybe I'll show you those later. And there's like, they're like yokai and little dudes, and it's really cute.
Actually, there was it wouldn't count as gachapon because you just get them, but in Turnip Boy, there's different hats you can wear. They don't do anything, they're just looks. And there's one point, I forgot when it quote-unquote unlocks, but I was playing it, and you go to your mailbox, and I guess they just had all these updates over the year or so when they released this for every like major holiday. So I'm just sitting at the mailbox, like clicking through saying, oh, you unlocked the witch hat, you unlocked the turkey hat, you unlocked the Santa hat, you unlocked the Easter bunny hat. It's like, holy shit, there's so many fucking hats.
Wow, for a game that you played, how long did this take you?
Less than 3 hours, I think.
Wow.
And I don't think there's too much. There's like the couple of sections that unlock after you quote unquote beat the game the first time. And like one of them is like a cave with a cat that can see all that you have left undone or something. So you can go there and ask the cat, like, it doesn't say specifically what you need to do. It'll just give you like hints like, oh, there's so and so that you need to talk to or something. But yeah, it is cute. So that's all I played for the weekend. So
yeah, I know you'll have another game to talk about next week too.
I'll finish that. Hopefully that shouldn't take too much longer, but I don't know. Maybe it's bigger than I thought.
I guess we'll see. I know you do like the shorter games.
Yes.
I like the longer games.
No, that's why, maybe it works well for you talking about the same game for like a month long, and I'm like, here's some quick things to try.
Yeah, it would be easier if I could just like spoil everything and talk about the story, because like that's kind of the point, right? Of like why I'm playing the longer games, because there's more story in those worlds. Like they can be compounded upon like hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
But I guess like trying to be spoiler free. I don't know. Maybe I should. Nah, I'm gonna try to stay spoiler free. Because yeah, even for me when I was playing this, like there was a point where I'm like, oh man, this character's not interesting. Am I really gonna like this? But then like towards the end of the palace, and like it was actually at the end after we stole his heart like you do in Persona 5, and like he what's it called?
Confessed his crimes.
Yeah, it was after that something happened. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. But like I also don't know if that's gonna lead anywhere, or if they're just using that as kind of shock value. But we'll see. I like Persona,
and I like Turnip Boy.
I do wonder, I have other RPGs I want to play that are like not gacha live service, like just
normal RPGs.
Yeah. As in, like, there's an ending, you buy it, and there's an ending. So
yeah.
There's a few of those I want to play, but, like, I'm thinking, like, even talking about those on the podcast is also kind of like, well, what do I say, like, without spoiling stuff?
Unless you want to do episodes where you do, like, a crazy deep dive in or something.
Like, when we, at some point, finish Suikoden 2, like, how much of that do we spoil and talk about? We should play that again sometime. But, I don't know, I guess that's good for now.
Yeah, so we'll see you next week, and I'll try to have a new game to talk about badly, and
I'll remind you to play it. I already know. I saw you starting it, and it looks neat.
Yeah, it's cute.
Alrighty.
So we'll see you guys next week. We love you.
Take care.
Bye.
Go to bed, Turnip Boy. You've done well. But us, we've gathered here to say farewell until next time. So, you can sing along, or don't. Do you? We won't pay our taxes, we've got rent and we've got bills. There's layers to the onion and his bureaucratic thrills. All you flora, all you fauna, let us venture through the land. Take down Mayor Onion and all his thieving plans. We won't pay our taxes, we've got rent and we've got bills. There's layers to the onion and his bureaucratic thrills. All you flora, all you fauna, let us venture through the land. Take down Mayor Onion and all his thieving plans. Spend some time peeling back those skins and you'll find out soon there are seeds within. We'll sing our hearts out loud, world spinning, cause the worst parts past, we're breathing still, so we'll fly through the woods. There's violence in history, we're speaking in ellipses. Secret is to try doing good, leave those snails alone, they got problems of their own. Make your mark, cause time always moves. Don't waste it for a pay stub. Friends and family make up. Fertile wood at heart. Fertile wood at heart. Fertile wood at heart. Fertile wood at heart. Fertile wood at. We won't pay our taxes, we got rent, we got bills. There's layers to the onion and his bureaucratic thrills. All you flora, all you fauna, let us venture through the land. Take down Mayor Onion and all his thieving plans. We won't pay our taxes, we got rent and we got bills. There's layers to the onion and his bureaucratic thrills. All you flora, all you fauna, let us venture through the land. Take down Mayor Onion and all his thieving plans. We won't pay our taxes, we've got rent and we've got bills. There's layers to the onion and his bureaucratic thrills. All you flora, all you fauna, let us venture through the land to take down Mayor Onion and all his thieving plans.